Before installing the Frigidaire all-refrigerator, all-freezer pair, read and understand the safety precautions and warnings provided in the Use and Care Guide, packaged with the appliances. In this video, you'll learn to properly install the all-refrigerator, all-freezer trim kits, designed for either single-door or double-door models. We encourage you to visit our website and register your new appliance. An important first step, registering the appliance makes it possible to take full advantage of the benefits available to you as a Frigidaire owner. Before starting, check to make sure the trim kit contains the correct parts. See the instruction sheet for a complete parts list. Also, refer to the instruction sheet for a list of tools you'll need, as well as additional details regarding the installation. If a part is missing, contact customer service. Use extreme care when handling metal trim pieces. Corners are very sharp and can easily cause injury if not handled properly. In addition, if dropped, trim pieces can be damaged. Before installing the trim kit, make sure the opening is tall enough to accommodate the overall dimensions of the unit. There are optional cutout dimensions for both single and double trim kit installations. For details, consult the instruction sheet. Begin the installation by placing a drop cloth on the floor near the appliance. The drop cloth helps protect scratching the kitchen floor as well as the trim kit components. If installing in a 75-inch high cutout, the left and right side trim pieces will need to be adjusted. If installing in a 79-inch high cutout, no adjustment is required. To make the adjustment for the 75-inch high cutout, use the slot as a guide and remove 4 inches from the left side trim. In the same way, remove 4 inches from the right side trim. Next, install the leveling system. To accomplish this step, the unit will need to be placed on its back. Make sure the internal packaging is in place. If the internal packaging is no longer intact, remove shelves, bins, and other components before placing the unit on its back. To prevent damaging the water tube clip, and to make it easier to return the unit to its upright position, place foam blocks under the unit's back. We recommend using the foam blocks included with the appliance's packaging. Now, with assistance, carefully place the unit on its back. With the unit on its back, remove the 4 plastic leg levelers. Six screws, 3 from each side, need to be removed from the bottom of the unit. Remove the 6 screws and discard them. With the unit still on its back, remove the plastic toe grill from the bottom front of the unit. In this step, you'll need 6 3/8 screws. Using a 3/8-inch socket and the 6 3/8 screws, attach the 2 leg levelers. To install the screws at the back of the assembly, adjust the rear roller up and out of the way. After these screws are in place, lower the rear roller to its original position. If installing dual units, the bottom front tie bar can be installed onto the first unit. Use the Phillips screwdriver and 2 4/8 screws to install the common mounting bracket to the first unit. Next, we will attach the current leg leveler to the leveling system. Note that the two leg levelers are identical and can be used on both bottom sides of the unit. Now set the appliance upright to continue. Repeat the leveling system installation process with the second appliance. When working with a dual installation, 3 trim kit tie bars are required. At the bottom back of the dual units, use 2 3/8 screws and the 3/8" socket to secure the mounting bracket. The units may need to be leveled to align the holes. Next, install the center strip between the two units. The center strip is required to maintain the correct 3/8" separation between the units. At the front top of the dual units, use 2 3/8 screws and the 3/8 socket to install the top mounting bracket. Again, the dual units may need to be leveled to properly align the holes. Finally, at the bottom front of the dual units, use the Phillips screwdriver and 2 4/8 screws to complete the attachment of the common mounting bracket to the second unit. We will now look at a single unit installation. From the unit's top hinge, use a 3/8" socket to remove the outer screw. Set the screw aside for later use. Next, using one screw and the 3/8" socket, install the mounting bracket. This next step is the same whether installing a single unit or dual units. On the cabinet trim's left side, position the left side trim. Make sure the trim is resting on the floor. With the trim in position, use the drill to make a 1/8" pilot hole. Install one 5/8 screw until it's completely seated. Then remove the screw. Set the left side trim aside for later use. Repeat the same process with the right side trim. Again, make sure the trim is snug against the floor. Drill the pilot hole. Install the screw until seated and then remove. Set the right side trim aside for later use. Note that top trims are available for either a 75" high cutout or for a 79" high cutout. Before proceeding, determine the correct top trim required for the installation. The top trim installation is much the same whether working with single or dual units, with only a minor difference. With a single unit, the outer hinge screw has already been removed. With the dual units, the outer hinge screws are removed at this time. Begin by using the 3/8" socket to remove the outer hinge screw from one of the two hinges. Now remove the outer hinge screw from the other unit's hinge. Next, align the top trim and use the 3/8" socket wrench to install. Use the 3/8" socket to install the outer screws on the common mounting bracket. Before sliding the unit or units into place, attach the water supply line. Then check to make sure the power cords are out of the way. The power cords may need to be taped to the back of the units. Attach the power cords, then slide the units into place. Next, adjust the top trim height until it's at 75 and 3/32 inches. Center the unit or units within the opening and level. To raise or lower the front of the unit, use an adjustable wrench that fits an 1¼ hex nut. To raise or lower the back of the unit, use a 3/8 inch socket wrench. Turning the bolt adjusts the back wheel. To raise the unit, turn the bolt clockwise. For detailed leveling instructions, refer to the printed installation instructions. In this next step, single installations require the short top trim piece. For dual installations, use the dual short top trim piece. Now drill pilot holes and using the Phillips screwdriver, fasten the 5/8 screws into the kitchen cabinets. If working with a 79-inch high opening and the louvered top trim, slide the unit or units into place. Adjust the height so that the top trim reaches 79 and 3/32 inches. Next, center the unit or units into the opening. Now drill pilot holes and then install the 4 5/8 screws, 2 on each side, to secure the louvered top trim. The unit's bottom hinge is designed to accommodate final adjustments for door-to-door and door-to-cabinet alignment. Refer to the printed instruction sheet for details. Attaching the side trim to the kitchen cabinets is the same whether working with a single or dual installation. Begin by fastening the bottom of the side trim with a 5/8 screw. Then secure the top trim using the 6/8 screws. To attach the tow grill to a single unit, install with 2 5/8 screws. The tow grill of the dual unit is attached using 4 5/8 screws. We will complete the installation by attaching the handles, installing the air filter, and setting the initial temperature. Begin by removing the handles from the carton and protective packaging. On the door, note the position of the upper and lower pre-installed shoulder bolts. Position the handle's end caps over the shoulder bolts. The holes for the set screws face in the direction of the door opening. Hold the handle over the shoulder bolt and firmly press the handle against the door. The set screws are pre-installed into the handles. Use the Allen wrench provided and tighten the screws. Make sure the set screws are tight and sub-flush, seated just below the surface of the end cap. When properly installed, the handles are drawn tight to the door and there are no gaps. Installing the Pure Air Ultra Filtration System is the same for both the refrigerator and the freezer. Begin the installation by pulling down the front of the air filter door. Doing this releases the hinged bottom cover. Unpack the filter. Place the filter inside the housing. Push the hinged cover up until it snaps closed. After power is supplied to the unit, if the unit is off, go to the electronic control panel located inside the unit. Within 3 seconds or less, press the down key 3 times. A refrigerator unit will display a temperature of 46 degrees Fahrenheit. The freezer will display 10 degrees Fahrenheit. The unit's temperature is factory preset to provide satisfactory food storage temperatures. However, the temperature may be adjusted. Adjusting the temperature is the same whether working with the refrigerator or the freezer. For a warmer temperature, press the up key. For cooler temperatures, press the down key. After making an adjustment, allow the unit's temperature to stabilize overnight. To toggle between Fahrenheit and Celsius, press the temp mode key. This concludes this installation video. For more information, visit the Frigidaire website or refer to the printed trim kit instruction sheet and the appropriate use and care guides.